Well, hello ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, let's talk about the newest bike from Giant, and it's going to be the 2022 Giant Defy Advanced 2 road bike. But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and hit that little like button, because it's gonna help in growing the channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, then definitely thank you. So you see, Giant Defy Advanced 2. Who is this bike for? So the Giant Defy platform is all about endurance road bike. So a bit more relaxed geometry and longer days in the saddle. This is what this bike is all about. Giant Defy platform is extremely comfortable bike, and it has been so since the beginning of the Giant Defy platform. So if you are looking for something relaxed for long days in the saddle, definitely you have to look at the Giant Defy Advanced 2 bike. Retail price of this bike is absolutely perfect and astonishing. So the retail price in UK is 2,300 British pounds. If you are buying this bike in the Europe, it's going to be about 2,400 euros, and at the moment of this recording, US prices still haven't been announced, but expect again probably around 2,400, 2,500 US dollars. So this is an absolutely astonishing price. We will see what you get for your hard-earned money. But when it comes to value for money, this is what Giant is famous for. So now we can dive into the specifications and we can really see what do you get for 2,300 British pounds or 2,400 euros. We can first explain a little bit about the paint scheme on this bike. So you see, depending on the different markets, there is this beautiful kind of metallic blue, kind of going on to metallic light green paint scheme. Looks absolutely stunning, no problem with that. But if you are in the Europe, you can get an even better paint scheme, which is this beautiful metallic orange paint scheme. I wish that they offered this beautiful metallic orange paint scheme on all the markets, but it seems to me, for example, that Europe will get it, but UK, for example, won't get this beautiful paint scheme. As I said, I still don't know final specifications for the US market, so hopefully US market will get both paint schemes, so you can choose between this kind of hot orange, metallic orange, and this also beautiful kind of metallic blue going to light green. Again, this is one of those things where I wish that Giant can always offer two paint schemes on all of their bikes. When we speak about the frame and the fork on this bike, so what are you getting? So the frame is a carbon fiber, advanced grade composite, carbon fiber from Giant, and the fork is also advanced grade composite carbon fiber fork. This is a full carbon fiber fork with the Giant's overdrive steer. So both frame and the fork are of course ready for the internal cable routing. There is a 12mm through axles front and the back, and also a press fit bottom bracket, Shimano press fit bottom bracket, and the flat mount disc brakes. One thing to notice here is that I'm glad that Giant didn't go full integrated cables, so you can still see a bit of cables hanging in front of the bike, cables running from the shifters and cables from the hydraulic disc brakes, but this is perfectly fine. It's going to be easy to service. Now also keep in mind that for carbon fiber frames from Giant, you are getting a lifetime warranty, and for the carbon fiber frames it's a 10 years warranty. So absolutely superb pieces. Giant has a huge heritage in making quality carbon fiber frames and forks, so there is no complaints here from me. When you look at the handlebar, you will get the Giant Contact SLD fuse handlebar. So this is an aluminum piece, and it is paired with the Giant Contact stem, which is also aluminum piece. These pieces are separate, handlebar and the stem, which is absolutely great. So it's not a proprietary piece. It's easy to replace in the future. And also, if you wanna nicely tune your position on the bike, it's very easy to do it, because as I said, both handlebar and the stem are separate pieces. They are aluminum. Does it bother me? Absolutely not. It's perfectly fine. When it comes to the saddle and the seat post, so the seat post is the Giant Defuse carbon fiber seat post. Absolutely superb stuff. It's gonna soak up so much of the road bumps. And when it comes to the saddle, you are getting a Giant Approach saddle. Giant saddles are very nice saddles recently, and maybe you're gonna like this one, but if you don't like it, since saddles are a personal preference, it's very easy to replace and put any saddle that you truly like. But the key point here, as I said, is a carbon fiber Giant Diffuse seat post, which will definitely, contribute to the comfort of this bike. Now let's talk about the group set on this bike. So you are getting a mechanical Shimano 105 group set. So this is 11-speed group set, so everything from shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is Shimano 105 mechanical. It's absolutely perfect group set, mechanical group set. I would almost call it like a Shimano workhorse group set. It's gonna work perfectly fine, and for this level of the price of about 2,300 British pounds or 2,400 euros, this is absolutely perfect. Also keep in mind that the rear mech is the Shimano 105 GS, which means a long cage, so the maximum cassette you can fit here is 34 tooth, which is excellent in my opinion. Braking performance on this bike is done by the Shimano hydraulic disc brakes, so these are Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes front and back, and 160mm braking rotors front and 140mm at the back. I'm not so sure why Giant put this 140mm braking rotor at the back. I wish they gave you 160mm rotors, and also these braking rotors are Giant own production, Giant MPH rotors. I can't comment too much about the good heat dissipation from these rotors, I've never used them, but what I would do in the future, once when you destroy these braking rotors, I would buy myself a proper Shimano Ultegra braking rotors, so 160mm front, 160mm back, and they will be superb heat dissipation, and they will also come with the famous, Shimano Ice Tech Ice Freeza technology. So just do that, it's not very expensive and it's easy to upgrade this. Generally, the braking performance should be perfectly fine on this Shimano 105 hydraulic disc brakes. Now let's talk about the crankset, cassette and the chain. So the crankset on this bike is a Shimano RS 510. So this crankset is a little bit below the Shimano 105 crankset. So this is a little bit of, cost-saving measure, but make no mistake, it's a perfectly fine RS510 crankset from Shimano. It is 50-34 chainrings at the front, and it is paired with the cassette at the back, which is Shimano 105, superb stuff, 11-34 cassette. So you see this huge range between 11-34 cassette and also 34-50 chainrings at the front. Definitely you'll be able to climb any steep mountains that you can imagine, because you have this 1:1 ratio, 34 chainring at the front and 34 cassette at the back, which is absolutely superb. A chain is a KMC X11EL, so it's not a Shimano 105 level chain, but it's perfectly fine. This KMC X11 chain, superb chain, no problems here. Again, when you destroy this chain, it's very easy to upgrade to, for example, Shimano Ultegra level chain if you really want it. As I mentioned before, the frame comes with the press-fit bottom bracket, so this is a Shimano standard press-fit bottom bracket. There should be no creaking here because Giant produces really quality carbon fiber frames. Now let's talk about the wheelset on this bike. So the wheelset is the Giant's own production PR2 disc wheelset. So this is a classical aluminum wheelset. Total weight will be approximately 2,000 grams, 22mm inner rim width, which is nice wide inner rim width, and rim height is probably going to be around 25-30mm on this disc wheelset. Hubs are from Giant, Giant own sealed bearing hubs, and 12mm through axles, both the front and the back. So this wheelset, as I said, don't expect anything special here. It's definitely gonna work nicely for thousands and thousands of kilometers, and once when you destroy this wheelset, it's always easy to upgrade to a bit more advanced aluminum or even carbon fiber wheelset. And I always suggest you to first have a look at DT Swiss wheels, and maybe then you can have a look at some Zip wheels. This wheelset is wrapped in the Giant Gavia Fondo tires, so these are tubeless tires, 32mm tires both front and the back, which is absolutely superb. You're gonna have a lot of air volume in this tire, and it will definitely contribute to the smooth ride of this bike. Also keep in mind that the maximum tire size you can fit here is 35mm, which again in my opinion is superb. So maybe in the future, when you destroy these 32mm tires, maybe you want to upgrade to like a 35mm tire if you really need a bit more air volume and even more comfort. Also, I forgot to mention here that these tires come tubeless set up from the factory, which is absolutely great. You get your own sealant included, so this is superb because you can run it tubeless immediately. Now let's talk about the the weight of this bike. So for a size medium-large, I would expect the weight of this bike to be somewhere around 9 kilograms. So definitely, you know, not a light bike, but you always gotta keep in mind, as I said, that the Giant Defy platform is all about relaxed geometry, endurance bike ride. So all in all, what would be my kind of summary and suggestion for this bike? I strongly suggest you that if you are in the market, you can get your hands on this Giant Defy Advanced 2 bike, definitely go for it. It's definitely a recommendation to buy this bike, because considering the retail price of 2,300 British pounds or 2,400 euros, or let's call it approximately 2,400, 2,500 US dollars, it's an absolutely steal of a bike. It's a great bike from Giant, and I truly believe they will sell a lot of them. They will go, you know, like hotcakes. The only small little complaint I have is again this rear braking rotor. As I said, it's only 140mm braking rotor, so when you destroy these braking rotors, please buy yourself a Shimano Ultegra braking rotors, front and the back, 160mm front and the back, and the heat dissipation is just gonna be superb, and the braking performance is gonna be superb. So, I think this is gonna be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, please do subscribe and hit that little like button. And as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!